All right, class. So, looking at the rami, so let's look at this slide carefully. So, in this slide, we do see that thank you. Shh, Diane, go. In this slide, we are seeing that the spinal nerve is coming out, right? So, this thing is the spinal nerve. And we have previously looked at the sensory neurons, the interneurons, and the motor neurons. So if you look at the spinal nerve itself, it is made up of the sensory neurons and the motor neurons, right? The blue and the red ones. Now, I want you to understand that the spinal nerve comes out of the intervertebral foramen. If you remember the intervertebral foramen, those are the foramen between the individual vertebra. So the spinal nerve comes out, and immediately the spinal nerve splits into two branches. So it splits into this branch and this branch. The branch that moves posteriorly is called the posterior ramus. The branch that moves to the anterior part of the body, meaning it comes to the chest, to the anterior muscles of the body, those are called anterior ramus. Plural rami. Okay, singular ramus, plural rami. So again, one more time, we have the spinal nerve coming out of the intervertebral foramen, and immediately the spinal nerve splits into posterior ramus and anterior ramus. This is true for individual spinal nerve. Okay. All right. So here we do see the anterior ramus of three spinal nerves. Do you see that? So we see a green spinal nerve, a yellow spinal nerve, and a pink spinal nerve. Do you agree? And each spinal nerve splits into posterior ramus. So for the green one, this is the posterior ramus, and this would be the anterior ramus, and that is true for the yellow and the pink one as well. The point is, the anterior rami of these spinal nerves come together and form a meshwork like structure. It forms a meshwork, and this meshwork is called a nerve plexus. So this is a nerve plexus, which is formed by interweaving anterior rami of the spinal nerves. And then what's the point of having this plexus? Well, from this nerve plexus, actually the named nerves of the body originate. Okay, so there are different nerves that will come out of this plexus. So one more time, a nerve plexus is made up of an interweaving anterior rami of multiple spinal nerves. Okay, and it is from the nerve plexus that we have our named nerves originating. All right, so that ends my mini lecture on the nerve plexus. Feel free to ask if you have any questions. All right.